Hey guys, Jordan with TYT Politics. I am here in my studio in the heart of Standing Rock at the Prairie Knights Hotel and Casino. I've been busy today. We've been editing footage, publishing footage. If you haven't seen, I had a couple words with the North Dakota Oil Police. I had to scream at them on top of a mountain. Well, they were on top of the mountain. I was at the bottom of the mountain. But since the mainstream media will only report what the police tell them while they scratch each other's backs in the twilight of the night, I thought I had to confront them and ask them why they were standing on Native Americans' ancestral burial ground, as well as Army Corps land, which by law they're not supposed to be in. So that video is up. It's doing well. It's on Facebook. It's on youtube.com/TYTpolitics. I hope you watch. I hope you share, because I think we need to get this message out, not just because it's entertaining to watch me scream, but I think we need to get the message out that there's absolutely no accountability. There's no consequences for the police breaking the law. I thought about it today. It's kind of like North Dakota has seceded from the United States of America. Like, they are not, they do not have to follow the laws. The police do not have to enforce the laws. They could break the laws. Obviously, our president doesn't give a fuck about the laws. The governor here doesn't care about the laws, which I'll get to in a minute. So that video is basically me from the bottom of the mountain saying, "Why are you up on that ancestral burial ground? Would you like it if these people were standing doing their work on top of where your grandmother's buried?" And the police say some ridiculous things to me. So that's up. I also squeezed in time to interview Jill Stein about her recount efforts. We also talked about Standing Rock, so those videos are up. And there's a couple other interviews I did with water protectors here, as well as me sledding during a winter blizzard, which is quite entertaining. But there's also some serious stuff that I interviewed people at camp as a winter storm was going on. I've been fortunate, honestly. This is the first day I haven't been outside. We've been in the hotel all day trying to go through our backlog of footage, but it's freezing out and it's very snowy, very icy out. So serious condition here, which brings me to North Dakota Governor Jack Dalrymple, who this evening did a segment on calling him Governor DAPL. And I can't agree more. This governor has done everything humanly possible to support the oil company. He has dispersed his police force to essentially serve as the protectors of the oil company rather than the people. He has paid hours and hours of overtime for the police, basically asking the Bank of North Dakota to lend them millions of dollars to pay for the overtime, to pay for the military equipment for these goons, because they're not police officers. Police officers protect the people, not a pipeline. So that's Governor Dalrymple, who yesterday ordered a mandatory evacuation of camp, even though he has no jurisdiction to order that evacuation. The main Osheti-Sukhoi camp is on federal Army Corps land. Frankly, it's not even the federal government's land. They stole it, but I reported on that. Technically, to the letter of the law, it's Army Corps land. So the state governor cannot order an evacuation without the Army Corps' permission, which to my knowledge, the Army Corps did not say to the governor, yes, you could go in there and mandatory evacuate. The governor, so kind of him, suddenly cares about the water protectors' health in this horrible winter blizzard. So he wanted to get the water protectors out because it's cold. It's cold. There's a lot of people still in summer tents. Even if it says like 30 degrees, 31 degrees with the wind chill, it could feel closer to 15, 20 degrees out. I grew up in New York. It snowed there, but the cold here is a little different. If you're out in the cold for long enough without any exposure to heat, it can get you sick. There are people getting sick. So this governor sent out a mandatory evacuation order because he cares so much about the water protectors. Apparently, I missed his letter of concern when protesters were getting shot in the face with rubber bullets, when they were getting tear gas, pepper sprayed. A 21-year-old girl had her arm nearly ripped off. An update on that. I spoke with her friend yesterday. She's doing well. And as of now, they've been able to save her arm. They continue to take arteries from different parts of the body to make a functioning arm, which is really a sad thing to say, that I even have to say that. She's a 21-year-old girl. There's also another girl, woman, who had her eye nearly torn out, the retina because of tear gas, and she is in. She has had surgeries. There's a GoFundMe for her, so I'll put the GoFundMe information under this video once we put it on YouTube. So the governor issues a mandatory evacuation. He's so concerned. Now let me tell you about the news today. North Dakota officials on Tuesday moved to block supplies from reaching oil pipeline protesters at a camp near the construction site, threatening to use hefty fines to keep demonstrators from receiving such critical supplies as food, building materials, and even portable bathrooms. Activists have spent months protesting plans to route the pipeline, blah, blah, blah. State officials said on Tuesday they would fine anyone bringing prohibited items into the main protest camp following Governor Jack Dalrymple's emergency evacuation order on Monday. Earlier, officials had warned of a physical blockade, but the governor's office backed away from that. Law enforcement would take a more passive role than enforcing a blockade, said Maxine Herr, a spokesperson for the Morton County Sheriff's Department. The governor is more interested in public safety, oh my God, than setting up a roadblock and turning people away. Officers will stop vehicles they believe are headed to the camp and inform drivers they are committing an infraction and could be fined $1,000. Okay, so you ever hear of contradiction when one thing pretty much cancels out the other? When one thing, when you say one thing, but by the other thing you say, you're pretty much canceling it out. It doesn't make sense. So they want to protect, the governor wants to protect the water protectors by evacuating them because it's too harsh of winter conditions, right? But he wants to stop supplies like food, building materials, and portable bathrooms from coming into camp. Number one, last time I checked, other than water, which the governor apparently doesn't give a fuck about because his pipeline is going to poison people, you need food. So he's trying to block food from coming in. This is a camp with between 2,000 and 3,000 people at any given time. Some people have left because it's winter and it's cold, but by and large, the majority are still there. So they're trying to block food. Building materials. The camp has been trying to winterize. Winterize meaning putting tarps down, solar panels, wooden stoves, move people from smaller summer tents to bigger military tents that have heat in them. So that would be the building materials. And portable bathrooms. Nobody wants to live where shit's all over the place and you could pee on each other. You know, it's not Woodstock anymore. So basically, this governor is completely full of shit. He does not care about human rights. He only cares about doing everything humanly possible to get these, what he probably sees them as, hippies, agitators, Black Lives Matter protesters, just crazy communist liberals. That's probably how this guy sees them, because this guy is a radical. He's not even a Republican. He's a radical, social Darwinist douchebag. Okay? And, I'm a journalist. I'm not supposed to be so opinionated and blah, 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 blah. But this is just a fact. Okay? When a governor has the audacity to write that he cares about people's health, safety, but on the next day is blocking food, building supplies, and bathrooms from going in, he's a liar. That would be a liar. Secondly, this article doesn't have that the governor, as of yesterday, and from what I hear, the roads are still pretty bad, they are not plowing the roads on the section of Route 1806, Highway 1806, which is between the hotel and casino that I'm at now and the camp. The camp is 10 minutes down the road. So let me get this straight. You want to move people out of this camp because there's tough winter conditions, but you want them to drive off the fucking road in black ice because you won't plow the roads because you care so much. And I wonder how long it's going to take for the EMS and the ambulances and the fire department to come when you have bodies piled up on the side of the road. And I'm not trying to be dramatic. I'm not trying to instill fear, but I am trying to get across a point that at what point do we say, you know what? Yeah, I want to help the billionaires. I want to get the oil. I want to get my kickbacks. I'm leaving office soon, so I need to set myself up. But gee golly, I don't want to be an accomplice to murder. At what point does this guy have any conscience? Again, I'm not trying to rant. I'm telling you, when somebody is literally doing something that he knows could put people's lives in jeopardy, when somebody is trying for an oil company to block food coming in, block building supplies that could keep people warm, he is consciously taking the risk that people will die. I had a friend who got in a car accident who lost his life because he got in a winter car accident. He hit black ice. And that wasn't intentional by the government. It was just black ice. But let me tell you, we were driving yesterday and I slipped on ice a little bit and I was driving slowly. So you have people tired from camp. You have people sick from camp. And then they're driving on black ice. What do you think's going to happen? What do you think's going to happen, the governor? So Obama's already, Obama has turned the blind eye. Mr. Hope and Change, Nobel Prize winner, pardoning turkeys. The puff pieces are out about his legacy. So he's checked out. We can't depend on Obama, which I'll get to. But the governor here, who nobody should have ever expected to do anything in the first place. He's a big oil Republican. He's in bed with these companies. He's got a lot of shares in ExxonMobil, among oil companies. The governor here is making decisions that could kill people. And has the audacity, if you try to bring in food, building structures, or portable bathrooms, you're going to be fined $1,000. When is it time to make a citizen's arrest? When is it time to make a citizen's arrest, all right? Medea Benjamin from Code Pink. A lot of people think she's a radical. I think she's awesome. She made a citizen's arrest a few years ago at Karl Rove. When is somebody going to go to the governor's office and arrest this motherfucker? Because if somebody dies, it's on his hands. And if the blood is on your hands, the blood is on Obama's hands. And it's not just life or death. It's people getting sick. It's people having PTSD. I just interviewed a transgender woman yesterday who got hit up by tear gas the Sunday before. She could barely speak. She's still dizzy a week later. But we don't care about human rights and we don't care about people. We care about our friend Kelsey Warren from Energy Transfer Partners. That's who we care about. So if you are coming to Standing Rock, which I suggest, I never tell you what to do. If you have the time, if you can afford it to come, by all means, be careful because they're not plowing the roads and apparently you're going to get fined for doing something good. This is backwards. Apparently in America now, if you try to donate food to those in need, if you try to donate winter shelter to those in need, it's a fucking crime that you should be fined for.